Hi everyone, and welcome to my list of the games of the decade. Before we start, I'll give a quick breakdown of how this is going to work. I'm going to go in reverse order from 2019 to 2010, starting with a list of honourable mentions and then explaining my choice for the game of the year. Each of these sections has been previously released as a single video, except for the game of the decade section, so I'll include timestamps below for each. After that, I'll give a quick recap for the prior 100 games on the list, and then I'll give my game of the decade. I'm only listing games I've played, and the only games eligible to be Game of the Year are games I've finished. Settle in, this is a long one. 2019. Honourable Mentions. Slay the Spire. Resident Evil 2.
Don't move. I'll be back for you.
Stop moving.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
He likes to kill demon things. Let him do his thing.
You hear what I said, you dumb?
Devil May Cry 5.
You're gonna die.
Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes? All right. Time to kick some ass.
Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Sayonara Wild Hearts. Code Vein.
A new spring and a fresh source of labor. Ha ha! We really hit the jackpot. Get up. It's time for a bit of fun.
All right, let's go.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Hands up! What the hell?
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Ladder's out, though.
Pokemon Sword.
Yeah.
My game of the year for 2019,
That right?
Death Stranding.
Sam Porter Bridges. The man who delivers.
Death Stranding is, as described by Hideo Kojima, the first Strand-type game, a game about building connections rather than usual competitive style. In practice, it's a game about delivering packages while hiking, the cyclical nature of history, terrorism, and friendship. The game features performances by Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Leah Seydoux, and a truly spectacular performance by Tommy Earl Jenkins, as well as guest appearances by Nicholas Winding Refn, Guillermo del Toro, and many other friends of Kojima. This is all supported by an immense world, music which feeds the tone of the gameplay perfectly, and an almost photorealistic art style which at times was truly breathtaking. I started playing this just after beating Luigi's Mansion 3, and at the time I felt thoroughly burned out on video games. Death Stranding, though, it reinvigorated my love of games by giving me something different from anything I'd played before.
Yeah.
Just walking around the map delivering the packages gave me an immense sense of satisfaction before I even really started with the story. That being said, the story itself was just as compelling as the gameplay, leaving me interested in the world and thinking about the game for a long time after I'd finished it. I honestly couldn't think of a better game to call my game of the year for 2019. Also, if you want to hear more about games from 2019, I have a 2019 specific list, which I'll link in the description below.
I make deliveries. That's all.
This is Bridges Central Dispatch. Freelance contractor Sam Porter Bridges. Receiver is standing by for drop.
Headed into town. Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long.
2018. Honourable Mentions.
The edge.
Far Cry 5.
There will be a reckoning. That is why we started the project. Because we know what happens next. They will come. They will try to take from us. Take our guns. Take our freedom. Take our faith. We will not let them.
Sheriff, come on.
We will not let their greed or their
God of War.
I think you got him.
Octopath Traveler.
Suppose so. No thanks. Listen.
Yeah.
Dead Cells. Donut County. Marvel's Spider-Man.
Free to fight, so fight! Too bad! I don't want excuses! Bring it to the ground! You're out of your depth, boy!
Not this time.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Player one. Win!
My game of the year for 2018, Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is the latest game in the Monster Hunter series, and revolves around the 5th Fleet's expedition into the New World and research of the Elder Crossing. To do this, you search through a series of new maps, each larger than any previous, and for the first time in the series, entirely contiguous as opposed to zone-based, and hunt the monsters within. Hunt monsters, use their materials to build new weapons and armour, and then hunt ever stronger monsters until you learn why Zora Magdaros made the Elder Crossing. Monster Hunter World wasn't my first foray into the hunting genre at all, with that being Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and then Freedom Wars, by the way, sequel please, Tokiden and Soul Sacrifice. That being said, it's definitely the one I spent the most time with, and which left the deepest impression. Dual Blades is easily one of my favourite playstyles in any game now, and the Wigglers have left an indelible mark on my being. The quality of life changes over previous entries in the series, and the contiguous maps instead of zones were the final thing to really tip me over into being a true fan. With over 300 hours played, and the sheer amount of time I spent making videos and talking about this game, I really couldn't have given Game of the Year to anything else for 2018. (2017) Honourable Mentions. Night in the Woods. Hollow Knight.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history
The Legend of Zelda,
the
Breath of the
Calamity
Wild.
Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
Exit confirmed.
Near Automata.
So open it.
Negative. Nearby enemies are jamming our signal.
Nothing's ever easy.
Answer him. I said, where do you live?
Uncharted,
I'm in the
The
middle of
Lost
something.
Legacy.
It can wait.
Yes, sir.
Meet me inside.
Understood. You, with me. Man the gun.
Sir, what about her?
Just let her through.
You heard him. Get going.
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Assassin's Creed Origins.
I'm out of the game. If you are the healer, means I'm broken and lame. If thine is the glory, then mine must be the shame. You want it darker. We kill the flame. Magnified, sanctified be thy holy name.
Super Mario Odyssey. Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Bringer of chaos! Ultimate lightning fury slash! Ah! You're gonna pay for this! This is not good!
Why won't you guys leave Pyra alone? Nia!
My game of the year for 2017, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn tells the story of Aloy, a girl born to the Nora tribe and raised by a man named Rost, as she journeys to find out who her mother was. To do this, she'll have to win the Nora trials to become a true member of the tribe, and then journey far past her homeland, all whilst battling ever stronger machines to find out who she is, how the world came to be, and just what Zero Dawn was. Horizon Zero Dawn is a truly spectacular game in just about every sense. From its beautifully realised world to its complex and interesting narrative, there's nothing I didn't love. There's just so much to the game, it's honestly hard for me to discuss any one aspect that I like. That being said, it'd be remiss of me to not mention the machine designs in particular. The mechanical nature but dinosaur-esque designs leave them feeling both of the world but separate from it, leaving each one feeling like a constant spectacle. This is also the only time I've ever felt a game truly deserved to be set in an open world, as it really reinforced the emotions of the journey Aloy was taking. There's rarely a day which goes by where I don't think about this game, and I desperately hope it gets a sequel sometime soon. A real masterpiece.
That's another one.
(2016) Honourable Mentions. Firewatch.
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I, sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Super hot. Dark Souls 3.
Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And a reclusive lord of the profaned capital.
Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
Took a long time for him to get out of this game.
He's meant for this life.
Oh, crap!
Last I checked, we're all a bunch of thieves, digging around where we shouldn't.
Shame we're not on the same side.
I am a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune.
So, are you ready to seek your fortune?
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Everywhere. What? This is not looking right at all. We should abort the run.
Let me roll with it, Noah.
We do not mess with Gabriel Kruger.
I need the script.
It's not like I can stop you anyway. Icarus, keep us updated on any changes outside.
Valhalla. Inside. Titanfall 2.
You think we can survive through this, BT?
Trust me.
You and your Titan must be destroyed.
Woo! Now we're talking!
Final Fantasy 15.
The king was found dead.
Lies.
If you're looking for the whole truth, you know where to find me. Get moving.
My game of the year for 2016, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth.
First encountered Digimon and embarked on an adventure that would turn the whole world upside down.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is a turn-based RPG similar in style to the Persona series, where you play as Aiba, a teenager corrupted whilst in the digital world and turned into a semi-digital being. To restore yourself to personhood, you must solve cases as part of the Kuremi Detective Agency, all while trying to find the cure to the Eden syndrome with which you've been afflicted. You do this by capturing Digimon, talking to people within the Eden chat rooms, exploring Tokyo, and eventually killing a god.
Unexpected.
I was never super into Digimon, to be honest, but this really piqued my interest and it was exactly what I needed when I got it. It's a solid RPG with an interesting world, hundreds of creatures to use with designs varying from adorable to edgy as hell, and a fun turn-based combat system. It does have a pretty high difficulty spike right near the end, and it's pretty long, but that kinda comes with the territory with JRPGs. I really enjoyed this game, and I still miss it often enough that for the longest time I used its PS4 theme just so I could hear the music. There's also now a complete edition available on PC and Switch, which adds new monsters and features from the semi-sequel, so there's no excuse not to give this a try.
Hackers using Digimon in cyberspace. Bizarre changes in the real world. A single mastermind behind these crimes. When the world is in crisis, a wish from a girl will create miracles and perhaps save the Digimon.
– 2015. Honourable Mentions. Bloodborne. Box Boy.
スイッチを押したりガードしたりあなたのひらめき次第です。ステージの途中にある王冠を全部ゲットしてクリアすればメダルがたくさんもらえちゃいます。貯めたメダルはショップでいろんな商品と交換できます。おしゃれをしたり。
Puzzle and Dragon Z plus Super Mario Bros. Edition. Heroes of the Storm.
But make us stronger. Together, we will defend the Nexus with honor and earn our glory. I am Hierarch Artanis, leader of all Protoss. And in unity, there is strength.
A parallax engineer has blurred the line.
2064 read-only memories.
And with this, humanity's destiny will be altered forever.
Transformers Devastation. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Fallout 4.
Has his eyes on much bigger things than
Just Cause 3.
He sees global domination as his ultimate conquest. Rico, driven by the desire to return Medici to its once beautiful and peaceful past, goes about bringing down Di Ravello's armies and military bases by any means possible. Rico's tools of the trade include an updated grapple hook, which can be used anywhere in the world to scale great heights.
My game of the year for 2015, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Xenoblade Chronicles X is an RPG and spiritual successor to Xenoblade Chronicles, in which humanity has escaped Earth after an alien invasion. After crash landing the last remaining colony ship on a distant planet, it's up to you to explore the area, find the missing parts of your ship, and carve out a new life amongst the stars. It won't be easy though, as the planet is full of harsh environments and even harsher life forms, not to mention the aliens which chased you from Earth, and perhaps even a trade in their midst. Luckily though, you have Blade, an organisation of engineers and soldiers to help you, along with Skells, giant mechs with which to explore the planet and defend New LA. Looking back on the list I put together in 2015, I have to say I feel very differently now. While Bloodborne is undeniably a great game, Xenoblade Chronicles X is a game which I still talk about regularly, especially regarding the music, with my favourite track being Nocturne's Day theme. There are definite aspects of the game which are lacking, looking at you Chapter 12, and it's by no means perfect, but there's something about it that I love. I desperately hope that after the Xenoblade Chronicles remake later this year, Monolith Soft get working on a remake of this, because more people need to experience it.
Assault hammer! Now we're stuck on a whole different planet. Nobody's looking at the sky.
Upper hand.
All around, so we stay quick with the guns and cannons.
Sliding, splinter.
Victory is ours.
We got it. Let's move.
2014. Honourable Mentions. Ollie Ollie. Dark Souls 2. Infamous Second Son. Child of Light. Freedom Wars. Mini Metro. PT. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor.
You are banished from death. A curse binds us together. Who are you? I shaped the history of Middle-earth. I crafted the Rings of Power.
Celebrimbor, greatest smith of the Second Age. Sauron deceived you into making the rings. He tortured both you and your kin. I had a family once, and I buried them along with everyone I even knew.
Perhaps that pain is what connects us.
Very soon.
This is more what I had in mind.
Far Cry 4.
Now, to whom am I speaking? The son who returned to scatter his mother's ashes, or the lunatic who has murdered his way to the top of my mountain?
You see what Pagan has done to this country. Like it or not, your duties, Kirat, and your choices will carry weight. We need someone to break the stalemate.
My game of the year for 2014, Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors is a hack-and-slash game set in the Zelda universe, pitting you against thousands of enemy troops as you wage war to free Hyrule from the clutches of Seer. You start as Link, trying to find Zelda after the capture of Hyrule Castle, and eventually journey through the different timelines of the Zelda franchise, featuring sections in Skyloft and the Twilight Realm. Eventually you will combine forces with each timeline to defeat Ganon and restore peace to the universe. In terms of sheer value, I couldn't go with anything other than Hyrule Warriors for 2014. Hundreds of hours of gameplay, a full story, countless maps, dozens of characters, and all while making the best possible use of the Wii U's hardware. I played a ridiculous amount of this on my own, and even more with my wife using the dual screen functionality. It's also now available on the 3DS and Switch, and while I heavily favour the Wii U version, you have nothing stopping you from playing. It will probably be the only Musou you'll ever need. (2013) Honourable Mentions. Tomb Raider.
Get out of this.
Bioshock Infinite. Guacamelee.
The year is 2000.
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Nuclear war has nearly destroyed our planet. Now, an evil presence seeks to enslave what's left of humanity. And there's only one thing that can stop it.
Nobody threatens my planet.
Michael Biehn is Sergeant Rex Power Colt. A Mark IV cyber commando.
The Last of Us. Rogue Legacy. SteamWorld Dig.
In his search for answers, he dug up more than he bargained for. The digging. The caves.
An amazing new world.
Pokemon X and Y.
A place where you will discover many new Pokemon.
The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. My game of the year for 2013, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch.
Always be together, Oliver. Always.
Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch is a JRPG made by Level 5 in conjunction with Studio Ghibli, where you play as Oliver, a young boy on a journey to save his mother. After travelling to another world with the help of the fairy Drippy, you'll set out to save that world from the dark djinn Shadar, and find your mother's soulmate, her equivalent from this plane of existence. Through your journey, you'll visit many different areas, such as Ding Dong Dell, ruled by a large cat called King Tom, and Al Mamoon, an oasis in the middle of a desert kingdom. You'll also make new friends who will accompany you, as well as capture familiars, creatures of the other world who can fight for you during your battles. To help you on your way, you can use a variety of magic spells, some of which will solve puzzles, while others will deal damage in combat. I would usually try to write a more concise breakdown of a game, but there's so much to Ni no Kuni that it's incredibly difficult. I've only barely scratched the surface with what I've said so far. I haven't even talked about the beautiful hand-animated cutscenes or the designs from Studio Ghibli, either of which could probably get an entire video of their own. Despite RPGs probably being my favourite genre, I've actually finished very few of them just due to their sheer length. Ni no Kuni kept my attention for its entire runtime though, and while the game isn't flawless, it's certainly wonderful. It's also recently been re-released on PC, PS4 and Switch, and the idea of playing this on the go just makes this game even more appealing.
Why do you seek the great sages, travelers?
We need their help. We need their power to defeat Shadar.
There were once 4 great sages. We understand that one of them was defeated by Shadar.
2012. Honourable Mentions. Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Crap jobs for guys like Dante.
They dug up over 60 of the poor bastards.
16th century. New Spain. These guys died a long way from home.
This is Nathan Drake.
Oh, you're the expert on maps, artifacts.
Right.
This is why you're here.
Markings aren't Spanish.
And no one has any idea what it means.
Diablo 3.
I stand alone, and if they keep coming, I will never stop killing.
Dragon's Dogma. Gravity Rush.
Dubai's running out of time, gentlemen. Let's move.
Spec Ops: The Line.
You didn't actually think we'd just let you walk in here, did you?
We've been set up.
Welcome to Hell, Walker.
FTL Faster Than Light. Dishonored.
It's not a question of whether my friends will
Far Cry
survive,
3.
I'll take your bloody if you like. I like my meat rare.
but how far I'm willing to go to get them back.
Your very own island! For the head of Jason Brody!
You are a warrior. You are Rakyat.
Assassin's Creed 3.
The time is now near at hand which must determine whether Americans are to be free men or slaves. Our cruel and unrelenting enemy leaves us only the choice of brave resistance or the most abject submission.
My game of the year for 2012, Sleeping Dogs.
Square Enix and United Front Games have joined forces to bring you an open-world experience unlike any other.
Sleeping Dogs is an action-adventure game following Wei Shen, an undercover police officer from Hong Kong, as he infiltrates the Sun on Yi Triad. He'll reconnect with old friends and old enemies as he tries to find the balance between his job as a police officer and his responsibilities as a Triad lieutenant. He'll commit crimes to prove himself while secretly dismantling their operations from the inside. Perhaps he'll also get revenge for some of the actions of his past, so long as he doesn't get betrayed along the way. I finished Sleeping Dogs in a hotel room on a terrible old laptop while my wife was at a wedding. I was tired, hungry, and slowly going insane, but the game, along with copious amounts of alcohol, kept me happy. Following Wei Shen on his journey through the criminal underworld of Hong Kong was a gripping experience full of dramatic and violent moments. A frankly ridiculous DLC, one where you take part in a death tournament on a private island and another where you fight Jiangxi and other demonic creatures, are both slightly odd tonally, but they're both a great time. Maybe take a break between the main story and the first two pieces to alleviate any weirdness. There's a third piece of DLC too, but that's a bit more realistic, and honestly less interesting because of it, though at least it fits the world a bit better. I've heard mixed things about the performance of the definitive edition, but regardless of how you do it, you should make sure you play Sleeping Dogs.
With the most advanced fighting system in any open-world game, push your combat skills to a new level. Use the environment to get the job done with style. For extra impact, use objects as you would in a real street fight. Sly enemies sometimes escape. Jump, slide, and dodge obstacles to catch them. Disarm opponents and use their weapons against them. Take cover from enemy fire and, when the time is right, vault out of hiding to trigger...
2011. Honourable Mentions. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds. Portal 2.
I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster.
Infamous 2. Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon.
An arsenal.
Bastion.
Enough heat to remind the beast of the wild who's boss. Or even that shrine, in case the gods ain't dead. The Calamity gave us something else. A story. That may not sound like much.
Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception.
If Drake was on a mission from the Queen to find this place, why all the secrecy? I suspect I know you better than anyone, Mr. Drake. Just who are we dealing with here?
Don't touch me!
Aram of the Pillars. Where is it?
I don't know, buddy.
You insult me. You're a pirate.
Sully, you could use these constellations to believe they even exist.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
It dawns. It dawns in fire. But there's one they fear. In their tongue, he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
Assassin's Creed Revelations.
What will I find when I arrive there? Who will greet me? A host of eager Templars, as I fear most strongly. Or nothing but the whistling of a cold and lonely wind. Masyaf has not been home to the Assassins for almost 300 years now. Can we still claim it for our own? Are we welcome there? I am wary of this fight, Claudia.
Let's go wherever you want to go. Climb the tallest mountains.
Minecraft.
Down to the darkest caves. Build anything you want. Day or night, rain or shine. Because this is the most significant sandbox you'll ever set foot in. Build a majestic castle. Invent a new machine. Or take a ride on a roller coaster. Play with friends. Build your own little community. Protect yourself with the strongest armor that you can craft. And fight off.
My game of the year for 2011, Terraria. Terraria is a 2D sandbox game where you harvest materials to build tools, weapons and gear so you can explore the world. The game features a number of different biomes, each complete with their own theme, materials, enemies and bosses, with my personal favourite being the jungle biome. You can also build a village for various NPC characters you'll meet across the world, such as the guide, arms dealer or Santa Claus. There are also various events that can take place, from being visited by a travelling merchant to being invaded by goblins. I wrote a big thing first about how much I liked Terraria and how the new update made for a great time to go back, but since then I've actually started playing again. If I purely look back at the time I spent with the game around release, it's definitely my favourite game of 2011. As it is now though, I'm not sure if I ever really want to go back again. I made a video dedicated to my feelings on Terraria earlier this year, which you should watch for more of an explanation, but the basics is that I used to love it and now I'm not sure if I do. Either way though, it was great at the time, and it's well worth checking out, even if it's just so you can make your own mind up. (2010). Honourable Mentions. Darksiders. Bayonetta.
Keepers of the darkness were extinguished from the earth. All but one.
Nobody does that better.
Just Cause 2.
Now, you die. Yeah? How you gonna push buttons when you...
I rode in a gang.
Red Dead Redemption.
They left me to die after I'd been shot. I left the gang after the gang left me. I tried to go straight. I did. Then I got me more trouble.
You can't change, John.
Limbo. StarCraft 2.
You're not just gonna leave us. Vengeance doesn't factor into this. Our revolution's about freedom. When you figure it out, let us know. We're waiting on you.
Fallout New Vegas. Vanquish.
We will speak again after your unconditional surrender.
We will be victorious.
This the toy you've been working on? You did get some training in this thing, right?
You know what must be done.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
I thought my work was done. I was wrong.
News of the Villa attack has spread across the city. We were certain that you were dead. What do you intend to do?
Once more, I must venture into the fray. By recruiting enemies of the state, we arm those who have been disarmed by the border.
My game of the year for 2010, Nier.
Stay alive. Stay alive. Grandma?
Nier, and to be clear before we go any further, I'm talking about Nier Gestalt, is the story of a father trying to protect his daughter. The game is mostly an action RPG, where you search for a cure to your daughter's disease, the Black Scroll, a disease which slowly drives anyone who catches it insane until they die. Along the way, you'll visit a number of different towns, including an abandoned factory, a forest of dreams, a desert city controlled by 1,000 laws, and a haunted mansion. You'll also make friends with a variety of characters to help you out, such as a floating book, a blind child, and a foul-mouthed woman in lingerie. The game also requires multiple playthroughs to fully understand, as each will expand upon different aspects of the story until the true nature of the world and the Black Scroll are fully revealed. Nier is a game I would recommend to anyone, regardless of who they are, because it is one of the most important games I've ever played. It tackles complicated philosophical themes such as the nature of humanity and self in an engaging and easily understandable way, all while still providing a thoroughly enjoyable game to play. The characters are all complex beings with their own desires, the world has a deep backstory in each area, and while gameplay isn't the deepest, it's certainly enough to keep you interested the entire time. The game also blends multiple different genres to tell its story, with each taking you completely by surprise in its moment, so I won't spoil any of them, except to say that the one in the forest is one of my favourite sections in any game. Easily one of my favourite games, and with the remake of Replicant recently being announced, there's nothing standing in your way of this truly one-of-a-kind experience. Oh, and I love the fishing.
Me. Live. What for? I had my revenge. Now it's over.
I killed innocent people. I killed them all.
Here we are, over an hour later, finally ready to announce my favourite game of the last decade. I'm sure there are games that were good or great that I've missed in the prior lists, but I'm confident that my pick for the decade will be hard to argue with. First though, let's do a recap of the 100 games on the list so far. 2019, Slay the Spire. Resident Evil 2. Devil May Cry 5. Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Sayonara Wild Hearts. Code Vein. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Pokemon Sword. Death Stranding. 2018, Far Cry 5. God of War. Octopath Traveler. Dead Cells. Donut County. Marvel's Spider-Man. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Monster Hunter World. 2017, Night in the Woods. Hollow Knight. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Nier Automata. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Assassin's Creed Origins, Super Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, 2016, Firewatch, Super Hot, Dark Souls 3, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, Valhalla, Inside, Titanfall 2, Final Fantasy 15, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, 2015, Bloodborne, Box Boy, Puzzle & Dragon Z plus Super Mario Bros. Edition, Heroes of the Storm, 2064 Read-Only Memories, Transformers Devastation, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Fallout 4, Just Cause 3, Xenoblade Chronicles X, 2014, Ollie Ollie, Dark Souls 2, Infamous Second Son, Child of Light, Freedom Wars, Mini Metro, PT, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Far Cry 4, Hyrule Warriors, 2013, Tomb Raider, Bioshock Infinite, Guacamelee, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, The Last of Us, Rogue Legacy, SteamWorld Dig, Pokemon X and Y, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch, 2012, Uncharted: Golden Abyss, Diablo 3, Dragon's Dogma, Gravity Rush, Spec Ops: The Line, FTL: Faster Than Light, Dishonored, Far Cry 3, Assassin's Creed 3, Sleeping Dogs, 2011, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds, Portal 2, Infamous 2, Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon, Bastion, Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception, The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Minecraft, Terraria, 2010, Darksiders, Bayonetta, Just Cause 2, Red Dead Redemption, Limbo, StarCraft 2, Fallout New Vegas, Vanquish, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Nier. My game of the decade for 2010 to 2020, Dark Souls. Dark Souls is an action RPG by From Software which takes place in Lordran, a land ravaged by an undead curse. Upon death, people afflicted by the dark sign, a physical symbol of the curse, would revive indefinitely until ultimately going insane in a process known as hollowing. You revive in the undead asylum and are rescued by a fellow undead who then informs you of a prophecy of an undead who would ring the bells of awakening. Your journey will take you from the depths of chaos to the highest lands of the gods, all on a quest to free the world of the undead curse and bring forth a new age of light. Or perhaps you'll decide to usurp the light and rule in the dark. Really, could it have been anything else? Dark Souls changed the landscape of gaming when it came out, the ramifications of which we're still feeling today almost 9 years later. While Kingsfield laid the original groundwork and Demon's Souls set the stage within a wider audience, Dark Souls was the game which truly put the genre in the spotlight, setting off a cultural zeitgeist which has lasted until today. While by no means perfect, in an era filled with mediocre first-person shooters it was a fantastically different type of game from anything available at the time. There's just about no genre of game right now which hasn't been affected in some way by the legacy of Dark Souls. When I first played Dark Souls, I completely bounced off it. I started as a pyromancer, and for a long time I didn't realise spell uses reset when you use a bonfire, so I was too scared to use them. I got as far as the Undead Burg, and it was just too hard for me. I ended up turning it off, and coming back about 6 months later, at which point I spent the next 40 hours grinding the same area over and over until I was to a level I was comfortable with. After getting over my initial hang-ups, I ended up going for a build where I could be as light as possible while using the Black Knight sword and shield, which I managed to get as drops from the first 2 Black Knights I ran into, and then proceeded to steamroll the rest of the game. All in all, it started pretty terrible for me, but once I understood what I was actually doing, Dark Souls quickly became one of my favourite games of all time, and easily what I consider the best game of the last decade. So, do you agree? If you don't, let me know what you consider your game of the decade in the comments below. With this all being finished now, and with the amount of time it's taken me, I've definitely learned a lot about writing and editing. I've also found a lot of things I would have done differently though. For one, I would have put more effort into researching the games, so that the issue with Mini Metro hadn't happened. I also probably would have had Bayonetta 2 in my 2014 list, but at the time of making it I hadn't finished the game. There are a few changes like that, but my favourite game of each year hasn't changed, so overall I'm still happy with the lists. Anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the entire series. P.S. There's only 3 months left now until the 2020 list. Special thanks to my board members Heaven Over Hell and Justin Wood.